So using the cheat sheet here, I am a lot newer to MIG and FluxCore. I've done it probably, let's see, I did MIG first time ever welding, did a smiley face. I did a bracket on the Jeep at Rollins with the Harbor Freight one, and yeah, I can't recall doing MIG or FluxCore any other time, honestly. So maybe 2 or 3 times. Stick welding I've done for like 12 years, and I've done lift TIG. So anyways, this is new to me, but we just fired it up on 110 here just to get the wire fed through. So it comes with the different drive rollers for the different wire size, the different tips. This is a reverse thread spool for the 10-pound spools. So I took that off. I got the FluxCore 030. It comes set up with 030, so that's good to know. I bought that, I figured that would be a good option. So I don't have to mess with too much. Screwed this in. You just align it and then tighten it. And the diagram showing, I think it's DC electrode negative, but basically this I just put there. I put the ground clamp on this one, and then the MIG gun can only go in one spot, so pretty basic. But yeah, as far as, it's very light. I mean, I got the old Everlast, 12-year-old Everlast over here somewhere. The little lunch box. Should know where my welder's at. Oh, it's tucked back over there. Okay. What do you think, Reg? What do you think, buddy? Been doing drywall today. Got my pigtails and argon. Yeah, the 12-year-old. So this is a lot smaller. This is a 140 amp stick weld. This is a 250. I haven't ran it yet, so I don't know the actual amps on stick welding and whatnot. But I mean, this thing should be able to do anything. So it is a little bit bigger footprint. This can do MIG. It can do FluxCore. It can do stick welding or lift TIG. And it comes with a liner right here and a gas hose. The liner is for aluminum wire out of the regular MIG gun. So, but it also can do a spool gun, which I bought because I don't really want to mess with that. The whole idea apparently is the wire feeds from here, so it doesn't, because the wire's a lot softer. It doesn't get all messed up in the gun with the distance. So yeah, I needed a way to do aluminum. I've gone all these years without a MIG setup, and I've gotten by using the lift TIG on this thing right here. I mean, I've done body panels, exhausts, you name it, with that little guy, with the argon bottle. So yeah, I mean, this thing's been amazing. You know, I've learned a ton on it, and I can pull up the thing. I think it's 12 years old. I got it in college. So with the tariffs coming in, I'm like, you know what? We're gonna send it on a MIG setup, because you know, I just wanted it. It's just like I've gone all these years without a MIG gun. The number of times, you know, they all have their pros and cons, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages, you know. Sticks good with dirtier metal. It's good outside. It's good when you can't fit a MIG gun physically in a tight spot. You know, the TIG is good. Really can control the heat. I can't do a foot pedal with either of these as far as I know, which is one thing. Down the road, I'll get an AC/DC TIG welder to do aluminum with AC. But this was a good entry point to be able to do aluminum with the spool gun. My John boat, one of them's got a leak, and I kind of want to mod the John boats with some aluminum stuff. So this gets me into the door, being able to do aluminum with the spool gun. So I'm gonna do a lot more with this till I run that. But pretty cool, you know. The times have gotten so much better, and the price point on these, it's like when I was in college, the guy who was a pipe fitter did a Miller Maxstar, which is like basically it's the equivalent to that, except you know this is a Chinese unit that, you know, I mean, God knows how much the price difference is. Crazy difference. But I've had this for over a decade, and I've used this thing so much. This thing saved my butt so many times. It's paid for itself a million times over. So, anyways, yeah. So, but that was the first time me actually seeing people, you know, kind of weld, and I was just fascinated by it, the stick welding, and yeah. And so, I mean, I've done truck frames, trailer frames, and you name it, body panels, and all the welded, all the rusted bolts you couldn't get off, you had to weld a nut to, and truss kits on the Jeep and off-road parts and stuff. And God, it's just yeah, it's been a journey. So but no, it's just like the times where it's like you want a squirt gun, it's like having the squirt gun, you know. Most people can't stick. Most people can run a squirt gun. Stick takes, it's an art. TIG same way. But most people can get the settings, look at a chart, and squirt gun the thing and run it. And you know, it takes some practice, but you know, you figure it out. But even too, I welded the top of that Connex box in the rain, getting electrocuted, and it was just like, shit. I just wish I had a MIG. You know, it's just like sometimes it's just better. It's a lot faster. I mean, God, my old truck, I did all those body panels, and it was like I did it with the TIG. It's just so much slower, and the metal's got to be cleaner. And on an old rusted truck, it's like, but so yeah. So those are the reasons. So the big thing was for me, I wanted aluminum capabilities, and the whole tariff thing. It's like, you know, they're gonna jump up the price. It's like I'd rather just get it and have it. I mean, the price on these, it's incredible how much you can do with something like that. I mean, you know, you're not running a full-time fabrication shop with one of these, but gives you the capability of aluminum, have a squirt gun now. You know, someday I'll get a plasma cutter, I'll get an AC/DC TIG set up. And that's the thing too. I already have the 80 cubic foot argon. Argon is so much cheaper out here in the West than the East. It's unreal how much cheaper it is. People out East are getting absolutely screwed on argon. It's just mind numbing on the price. I got the pigtails. I usually run 220 off a generator. 220 is just so much better. We're off grid, so I got to put two inverters together and do a bunch of stuff and re-hook up the whole solar system, and put new battery cables and a bus bar, and there's a whole myriad of stuff to be able to get 220 over to this panel. So right now it's jumped with 120, and eventually there'll be two huts. We ran the wire, so I got the wire. Eventually there'll be two huts. We'll put a 220 breaker, and we'll get the lift powered up with 220, not having to run the Jenny, for the welder. But even too, in the meantime, I mean, I have a couple dedicated 20s. This one's basically a dedicated 20 amp on 120. But yeah, so I can run it off that. I thought about doing like a 30 amp RV plug. You know, sometimes you just got to quick weld something. Doing 110 with a 30 amp RV plug would be pretty sweet. So comes with a little pigtail. I mean, I have a homemade one I did, but pretty cool. It comes with it, you know, and you don't have to make it. I had to make it for this one. I've ran this pigtail for a long time. A little piggy tail. I got this guy. All the pigtails. We'll have to make an RV or buy an RV pigtail. Usually, if you can buy it, it's better to buy it. It's cheaper. Those plugs are expensive. This runs the 50 amp off the generator. The big boy, the Honda. This runs off the 30 amp on the generator. The Harbor Freight, Predator, or the Honda. So that's the go-to. Get the full juice. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna sip a beer. Anyways, I mean, I've been welding for over a decade with stick welding, so it was in time. Might have to bleep that out, but yeah, you know, I got the 220 cords. I got the MIG pliers, I got the gloves, I got the jacket, I got the helmet, I'm all set up. I just needed a squirt gun, so we finally sent it. But yeah, let's see. There's all different settings and stuff, so it's gonna be a learning curve here. That's the amperage and volts. There's got to be a way to do the wire speed too. Let's just pull the trigger and see what happens. Oh, okay, so we're probably gonna go. You know, men they don't read the manual. Weld mode, okay. So it says it's stick right now. Manual. So this does synergetic MIG, which is pretty cool. I don't know much about that. Lift TIG, I know. But that's pretty cool. So it cycles through the modes. So it says diameter 030. Gas. CO2, we got to change that. Mixed core, mixed gas. So that'd be like a mix of argon and CO2. That's what we want. Flux core is gasless. Apparently the 2T and the 4T is the trigger pulls. So I want 2T. I think 4T, if you have a long run, you pull the trigger and then it goes until you pull the trigger again, and then it takes a second, it stops or whatever. So 2T is like you got to hold it down and go, and then you let off and it stops. 120 or 110 volts. I don't know the wire speed. That's the voltage. And let's just okay, so that drive roller spins that, so we gotta feed that through, and then just there's a way to adjust the speed, but let's do that here. So it must go through here. I know it's bottom feeding. All you guys have done this a million times. You're just like probably like, oh, why am I watching this? But oh man, see, noob. All right, well, don't do that. So that just broke. All right, I'm gonna pause this and we're gonna get this thing fed through. All right, we're back. So the lesson, right, you learn from failure. So anyways, you gotta make sure that's tight or it'll unwind itself and you'll have a mess like I just did. The next thing, you gotta loosen this thing. Drops down, this thing lifts up. And it was still a pain. I don't know, it just didn't want to go through there. I mean, it was just kind of a pain. One of the things I like about stick welding is the simplicity. You just clamp a rod and a stinger. This is my, I got 3 sets of stingers, but that's the one it comes with. So that's one thing I like about stick welding. Just slap a rod in, done. There's none of this feeding intricacies and all that. So anyways, so yeah, you lift this roller up, this drops down, lift this up. It didn't want to go through there. I don't know why, but I got it through. And then it was on this roller. You have to get it in this tiny orifice there. And then once you get that, then you can close this, tighten this, and now we're feeding it through the gun here. Oh, so I don't know if I should loosen. I don't want to make a mess again, but I'm going to loosen that a little bit. Granted, this wire obviously kind of unspooled and turned into a mess. Oh, I feel it. It's coming. It's gonna come. Oh, uh-oh. This guy, I get this thing wicked tight because I don't want it to come unspooled again. Oh, don't even say it broke. Come on. Well, yeah, did it just break? Yeah, it's one of the things I like about stick welding. That's the thing. You could have an expensive machine; it's going to do the same thing. It's just the nature of the beast here. Yeah. So what's the deal with that? Just gonna pull it back a little and try it again here. Yeah, maybe I had this too tight. I didn't want to unwind it again, turn it into a mess. So alright, that's bottomed out. Now loosen this guy up. This has got like a spring tension here, so you can set the tension. Try that. Maybe it's at the end of the gun here, and we gotta take this gun apart. And I just don't know these things because I'm not super familiar running MIG here. Comes with a little... Nope. Alright, we'll grab the pliers. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's on me. User error. Take the tip out until you get the wire here. Let's make sure this is 030. It should be. Yeah, it says it right on there, 030. So. Okay. Also, too, I mean, this wire got a little nicked here, so it doesn't want to feed right through. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, so that was on me, user error. So be what it be. We're learning here. All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hook it up to the 20 amp, and I feel like we're good on the spool and everything, and we'll do the settings and get some metal prepped. Yeah, so let me reset here and get this on the dedicated. I want to try it on 110, and then we'll get the Jenny out, and I'm gonna do the settings too. We're gonna play with the settings here. So, but yeah, I mean we're out of the gun now, so that's good. Okay, so he wants to play fetch, but took a piece of scrap metal I had, and just cut a little piece here, got a little bit of a gap, clamped it, got the ground on, got 12 gauge extension cord on a dedicated 20 amp circuit, and we're doing fluxcore, the 71T 030, and let's see, it looks like it's saved the settings. It takes a second to turn on and shut off, and I think between switching 220 and 120, it does the same thing. It takes a little bit, but let's see. So we're doing MIG flux core 030. So voltage 14.7. That's super easy. Okay, there's that. Wire feed speed 66 inches per minute. Okay, we reading that right? $66. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. 030, 93. Yeah, 93 is the speed. So if you turn it all the way down, basically 93. And then amps 40. No, voltage is right. Okay. Okay, so that welding current 40 amps. Okay, well, let's try it. 13.7 and then 93. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, I thought it was filming, but I guess not. I just welded the back side. I don't know how much it got of it. Let me run another one here on this side and see it run. Yeah, so not the prettiest thing in the world, but I am a noob at MIG, so yeah. So sticking it together. Definitely the 120, definitely geared towards thin metal. I mean, this isn't even that thick, and it's like you gotta weld it on both sides. This thing, I don't know if I'm holding the nozzle too close, but it's like the second time I've had to mess with this thing to get it to feed. Another thing too is there's a switch in here, spool gun or MIG gun. So we're on the MIG gun. Yeah, see, seems like that's on it. Yeah, I mean, I got the tension on this is not bad. This is one of the things I like about stick welding. It's just less stuff to mess up. There it is. No, or yeah, it's going. Okay. All right, yeah, let's run another one. Reggie, no. Yeah, that felt a lot better. Yeah, I mean, it stuck it together, you know, there's no porosity on that one. Could even run another pass. We'll run one more pass on it. I gotta try this on 220. You know, I know we're just playing around right now, so yeah, let's run another bead. Oh boy, we got Billy coming. Here we go. Look underneath. Yeah, so there's the first one. I should try the stick settings, because I'm a lot better at stick. We get the boys fighting in the shop here, roughhousing. Billy, how'd my ground clamp get over here? Come on, guys. All right, so this is metal roofing right here. Billy, we're not playing fetch right now. Come on, get out of here. Probably gonna blow right through it, but we're gonna try it. So this is really thin. We prepped it. We got the ground clamp, and I never had a welding table till now. I want to make some mods to it, but having a spot to clamp it, lay it flat, and be able to weld and not stick it to the table is super nice. And I should be able to do the ground clamp on the table, but Billy, outside, come on, enough. There he goes. Okay, let's try it. But we're gonna do a little, just a spot weld at a time because it's so thin. Oh yeah. Blew a hole right, 2 holes right through it. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. I think I'm on minimum settings too. I mean, you'd need gas. You'd need gas to do this then. But worth trying it. With the fluxcore, I was curious, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing the fluxcore on the thin stuff. You could do exhaust or something, but this is the auto body panel or roofing, metal roofing. This is way too thin. Billy, you spill my beer, we're gonna have a problem, buddy. Test the durability of this new welder. You guys just can't leave me alone, can you? Oh, quit your whining. Stop being a pansy. You're supposed to be a tough German Shepherd, huh? Crazy. Alright, you guys are really disrupting this welding video here. I might have to close the door on these guys. Billy, come on. Alright, so I'm curious on 110 how well it'll do a stick rod, 332nd, 7018. That thing, 110 versus the 220 is so much better on any welder, but usually it'll trip the breaker, or just you'll have to run a 60-13, 332nd or something, or a 16th inch on 110. This is pushing it. You really need 89, 85 to 90 amps is kind of the sweet spot on this. But I just want to try it, so we're gonna see how it does. So might have to use the cheat sheet here. Yeah, so electrode positive and stick. Okay, that's kind of what I figured here. Yeah, so you just got to switch some things around. So take this middle one out. Okay. That's kind of interesting how they just jumps like that. And then the ground goes in that. Just kind of curious too how, if you're set up with MIG, how hard is it to switch over to stick? Okay, so ground, boom. Electrode positive. Get this thing out of the way. All right. Yeah, another thing on this welder too, the fan's pretty loud. Someone else in the video said the fan's pretty loud. I mean, I'm normally running a generator, so it's usually way louder. But fan's relatively loud. The plastic out here I mean, that's got plastic and metal. It just seems a little more durable. I mean, you wouldn't want to throw this around. You know, you want to go easy on it. It's not something you'd throw in the back of a truck. I like how that one too, that has a nice case, you know, where it's like you could throw it in the back of a truck. It's like a lunchbox little welder. But yeah, you would want some kind of case, which it, you know, doesn't come with. But to me, that's not a big deal. So, so yeah. So anyway, so now let's just try synergetic, no. Lift TIG, no. Stick. What kind of amps? Now the volts, yeah, that shouldn't matter. Yeah, that shouldn't do anything. It should be just the amps here, so. Okay. I don't know what. That's saying 162 amps on 120 volt. Okay. If that's true, that's good. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm gonna put it at 90. Actually, let's go 85. That doesn't make any sense to me. How it could be that high on 110. Yeah, we're gonna put it at 85. We're gonna try it. We're gonna let it rip. That's interesting. That's very interesting. It is really nice having a little welding table. This thing too, this was a cheap welding table, and the plastic feet are garbage. I gotta make my own setup. I drilled some holes, made it a little taller, but I want to weld some feet on, make it even taller. But honestly, having a folding table set up that you can clamp stuff to, it's just so much better. I mean, I can't believe I've went this long without some kind of welding table. You know, and that's the thing too, is the steel, it's cheaper to buy it than it is to make it. It's like, but probably not anymore. So, but anywho, yeah, let's try this thing. Let's see what it does. If it trips a breaker or runs. Yeah, so the ground clamp, the stinger, I'm not loving it. I'm really not. I would slap a Harbor Freight one on, and the reason is, I don't know if you can see it, but the grooves on the Harbor Freight stinger just seems to grab it better. I like it locked. That just, I guess there we go. I don't know. I don't. All right, let's try that again. I got it at 90 amps, so let's see what it does. Yeah, it's just running cold because it's on 120. I kind of figured. That's the thing, I can still go up on the amps. Let's try 96. To me, the fact that says 96 on 110 is crazy. I just didn't get that kind of amps on the... Everlast. better. That's much better. We'll run a fresh one. That ran pretty good. 96. That's like every machine's a little different. You gotta figure out the amps that work on your machine. Yeah, let's just run a whole new pass. See what's going on. 96. Yeah, I'm impressed on 110 how well that runs 7018. Should slow down a little right there, but I mean, yeah, that's great. That's huge to me because it is my favorite rod. 3/32 7018. You could build anything with that. I'll have to hook up the lift TIG another day and try it. Doesn't come with a torch. I would think my air cooled over here 17 would work, which is nice. I already have it, but it's not that expensive if you need to buy it. I'll probably end up getting one just to have a complete set, you know. But yeah, and that's the thing. I want to get a mix bottle to do just gas MIG. Get another argon, or you know, get a mix bottle, get a big one. But yeah, so that's first impressions right there. You know, I could run more rods and stuff. I gotta practice more with the MIG gun, and I could play with the settings too, but I'm glad everything's working. And even too, I gotta do some homework on stick. I don't think you do, but these are buttons too. You can press these, so that all of a sudden goes to synergetic MIG. That's the inductance or something. So that I gotta learn what those settings are. It automatically switches it. I don't get how that goes so high on 120. just blows my mind. I'll have to play around with it. But what I do, 90 amps, 95 amps, that was great. Running the 7018, so yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up on that. And yeah, so that's first impressions right there. It's gonna be nice having the squirt gun. And I'm gonna have to, I don't want to deal with the generator right now, but I'll have to try it on the generator, make sure she runs good on that. And the 220 I'm sure is going to be way better. But I'm impressed on 110 running that's great. You know, you can do a lot thicker metal on 110 with that than using this. So it's kind of nice. It covers the bases. I mean, if you have a gas bottle and you don't do flux core, you can do the thinner metal. You know, I got to look at the rollers it came with too for the wire size. Comes with 3 different rollers, and I'll have to figure out how to change those. And but yeah, that's great. And yeah, so this is what I was talking about, right? So I've had this welder over a decade, probably 12 years now. And the only thing I ever had to do to it was the power switch I had to change. And then from jamming it in the case, see, this is the same thing. See how bent that is? Which it's fine right now, but you jam it in the case so many times, this cord wore out. I had to kind of reattach it in there, which was not a big deal. That was all my fault for jamming it in there all those years. And then the only other thing was it had a bunch of spatter in the fan, grinding dust and whatnot, and the fan just needed to be cleaned. And then once I blew out the crap, it was fine. So the only thing I've ever had to do that was a power switch and fix the cord I broke. So power switch is the only thing that ever failed in over a decade. So I've been happy with that thing. So this thing, you get your gas import back here. But yeah, so watch. So hit the power. See how it stays on. And when you turn it on, it's the same way. It kind of takes a second to power on and turn off. And I guess when you switch voltage, it's the same kind of thing if you run it on 220. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully people out there see that. I'm not sponsored or anything. This is just, I just wanted one. And I'm sure I'm going to be doing more videos and stuff, but so far so good. I mean, I'm learning MIG, and yeah, but it definitely works. I mean, it's a squirt gun, it works, so, but on 7018 on 120, I'm impressed with that. That's great. That is great. Yeah, it blows my mind. It says it right in the manual. 110 output current range 20 to 162 amps. That is just wild. 7018 220 20 to 225 amps. 20 is the low end. Which is good on the 16th inch 6013 rods. Huh. Yeah, this is the inductance. Press knob F. can do pulse MIG too. That's cool. And it has hot start on stick. Functions, hot start, anti-stick. See, I should have played with that, the hot start. I've never had that before. Press F. Okay, so you hit that bottom button and you can adjust the hot start so it doesn't stick as bad. That's cool. Yeah, this synergetic MIG too. I gotta figure that out. That's the liner. Spool gun. Nice little MIG chart. Bruh. 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 Is that koozie? Yeah, it's my koozie. Billy. Crazy pup. Oh, pretty cool manual.